critics of big tech are urging the Biden administration to stay the course on antitrust cases in the face of some notable exits at the Department of Justice. This coming, of course, as Attorney General nominee Merrick Garland takes the helm at the department. Let's bring in Alexis Keenan for that story. And Alexis, when we talk about notable exits, one name that's really stood out, and that is the Assistant Attorney General of the Antitrust Division now exiting. A lot of concern about whether, in fact, that hard line will continue.
Yes, Aikiko. And so it's starting to shape up, at least with that nomination of Merrick Garland. Of course, still waiting to hear on his Senate confirmation, and also outgoing Antitrust Division Chair Mahkeem Delrahim. He has stepped down as of the 19th. And so that position is going to be incredibly important as well. But a lot of handicapping going on to try to predict the influence that a Merrick Garland would have on industries, especially big tech. And so far, of course, the department under President Trump has filed an antitrust case against Google and also has those investigations ongoing into suspected antitrust conduct by Facebook, Apple, and Amazon. And then Google has those two additional lawsuits brought by states' attorneys general. And then, of course, the FTC also weighs in this equation, having filed already a case against Facebook, and they are continuing their investigation into Amazon's practices. Now, in talking, though, with both practitioners as well as former DOJ prosecutors and also academic experts, all who specialize in antitrust, the consensus that I got from those folks is that these tech companies can really count on a very tough yet fair opponent in a Merrick Garland should he be confirmed. For one, they say that he brings a judge's perspective, and that will really help narrow these allegations down into allegations that he deems winnable. Also saying that Merrick Garland, as a federal prosecutor, former federal prosecutor that is, and having spent a career in government, now as a circuit appellate court judge, that he will be perhaps sympathetic to the law enforcement view of the world. Also, he taught antitrust at Harvard, his alma mater. And so that really gives him a kind of subject matter expertise that isn't always the case with an attorney general, who's oftentimes and is called upon to be a real generalist across all areas of law. Still, though, that greatest influence will probably come from the new head of the Antitrust Division. One name that's been dangled out there, Renata Hesse, has been objected to by some anti-monopoly groups. They oppose her as someone who has already advised big tech companies, Amazon and Google, and saying, maybe that's not the right fit, because as we had with Delrahim, he had to recuse himself from the prosecution of Google, so couldn't even be involved there. Aikiko?
Okay, Alexis, certainly concerns also about Rohit Chopra exiting the FTC too, because he has been quite critical of Facebook. Zach?
Yeah, well, it's one of those issues we're going to keep tracking here. Obviously, President Biden has stressed the response to the coronavirus pandemic, number one. But once we get into the heat of his administration, we'll see some of these things come through.